Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about day 2 of orientation, and Drake's a little different because it has 4 days of orientation. From everything else I've heard, it sounds like every place else has only 2 days of orientation, but we're going to go over what we talked about during orientation day 2. And it was a pretty straightforward orientation. We started out with a lecture. We had a little rotation where we got more familiar with professionalism, the library, etc. And then we went into a third lecture after lunch. But let's just go over a little bit about what we talked about. I'll keep this fairly brief because I will be going over those lectures more in depth with other recordings. So I'm going to cover that in just a bit. But for day 2 of orientation, we started with a lecture, and like I said, I'll go over that later. But then we did rotations, and rotations I'll talk a little bit more in depth here. For the first rotation, it was professionalism and managing your career before it started. And the biggest takeaway from this is that your law school is likely to have a career development office, and you should utilize that career development office because that office, that CDO, can help you with several fields preparing for your career, such as career planning and research, creating resumes and cover letters, networking and interviewing. They can hold mock interviews. They can edit your resumes and as such like that. Along with that, they gave us some tips on how to network, such as it's important to have quality over quantity. You need to be interested and engaged in the person. Prepare your questions in advance if you're meeting with people. Be prepared with your elevator pitch. Do your homework about the people. Practice and follow up. Okay, as far as professionalism things go, it's important to stay professional in all areas of your life, including social media. You don't want to be rambling about a person that you strongly dislike on social media because it looks highly unprofessional, especially if that person is supposed to be a colleague or someone else in your network. Other things that you can do to show professionalism is to communicate clearly. You want to be reliable and punctual and other things like that. There are also some soft skills that you want to develop. You should strengthen your emotional intelligence, your competency in cultural awareness, grit, empathy, and just other professional behavior. So that was that rotation. The next was a tour of the Drake Library, and so I won't go into that because it's only relevant for Drake students, but the library is important. It's a huge resource that you will use throughout all of your law school. Carrels are study spaces. Those are all things that you would learn from your school in particular. Finally, we went over the counseling center, some of the lessons that you learn from the counseling center. If you feel any kind of stress, if you feel overwhelmed with the expectations of law school, if you're struggling with maintaining a school/life balance, those are all things that the counseling center can help you with. Other than the counseling center, there are some other resources that you can use. First of all, you'll want to stay consistent with all of your activities, waking up, getting good sleep, eating good meals, lots of snacks, study at the same times, etc. You're going to want to set some boundaries, meaning that you want to say no to people when you can't do something. Other things that you can do of self-care is going for a walk, exercising, talking with friends or family, relaxing, and one that I found interesting was journaling. That's something I actually need to get into more. But that was orientation day 2, besides the second lecture, which I'll go over in another a recording. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Law Schoolers. Before I let you go, there are 4 things I want to say. The first thing is if you enjoyed these episodes and if you enjoyed the website, I would invite you to go and join Law Schoolers Pro. And you can do that by going to lawschoolers.com/join. It's a way for you to support us, but there's also a lot of features there that I think you will enjoy. Second thing is that nearly all of our episodes are unedited. The only ones that aren't are pre-law materials, and the reason for that is so you can actually see the legal material in its raw form as I'm learning it as well. The third thing is that the information contained in these episodes are specifically only for educational purposes. They're not to be used as legal advice, and with that, the fourth thing is if it is used as legal advice, we are not liable. That is, Law Schoolers is not liable for any legal outcomes. Thank you again for enjoying the show. Have a good one.